Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the WorshipCast. I'm Franklin.
And I'm Matt. We got the opportunity to talk to Andy Elliott. And there's some pretty insightful stuff coming up right after the intro.
All right, so Matt, you got to go. I didn't get to go with you to the interview, but I like guitars. I'm a keyboardist, but I do like guitars.
You have some guitars.
I have some guitars.
Yeah, there's one in the room right now, just off camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so my wife and I got the chance to go towards Statesville, North Carolina. It's not too far away from where we are. Mm-hmm. And actually visit with Andy at his shop, which was a really cool experience. We stopped at a nice barbecue place on the way, which, and down here in the South.
Food, guitars.
Oh, yeah.
Combination.
Oh, yeah. So we had some good food, and we drove up to Andy's shop, and, his shop's kind of part of his house. We rolled up, and I was like, I'm in this man's driveway, But I got to meet Andy. Mm-hmm. And got to see some of the things he was working on. He didn't have any guitars available at the moment for us to play because everything he's working on it's
being sent out.
Yeah, it's headed out to you guys.
Boom.
He's working very hard, and I don't know. One of the coolest parts of it was that through the interview, which you guys will see here in a minute, you can tell how much love and care Andy puts into what he does and into the instruments. And the way he talks about them and the things that he's been able to do with them, a lot of them are his idea and his collaborations with people like James Duke and Peter Stroud. And so, watch the interview. He's a really cool guy. He's very down to earth, and you can tell again he loves what he does. And you guys check it out. So for everybody with the WorshipCast, I'm Matt Forrester, you know me, and I'm here with Andy Elliott. And I just had a couple questions for him, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this. So Andy, how did you get started doing guitars in the first place?
I've played guitars for about 40 years now, and just always loved guitars, and just had a passion and respect for guitars, and over the years, just little by little, got more and more involved in actually working on guitars and building guitars.
Yeah.
And I've had some really good teachers that I apprenticed under. Once I got serious about doing it, then I went to school, and I put a lot of effort into doing it, but it just kind of evolved over years. It wasn't just something I decided I wanted to do one day.
It's just up and run to it.
Yeah. There's a lot of people, I guess, do that, but there's a lot involved in doing this and doing it well. It's not just happenstance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so I find it interesting that when you first started, did you intend for church musicians to kind of take it on, or was it just kind of making guitars and whoever, and the church crowd just kind of grabbed on to some of them, or?
Well, I had relationships in church and out of church. I play at church. I played in a Christian band for years and years and years out on the road and stuff, and back before I had to grow up and all that. So, I had...
I'm facing that now, too.
I had a lot of connections in the music industry as a whole, both secular and Christian. And over the years, I developed a lot of friendships and connections, and never really knew why, but I guess it all works out in the scheme of things. But like James Duke, I knew James Duke when he moved here to Charlotte from Florida, when he And when nobody knew who James Duke was, I knew James.
Yeah.
And so I had that relationship, and had worked on his guitars and stuff like that, when he played at Morning Star. And so it's just natural to you have that relationship and respect for one another, and then we get to collaborate and build a guitar together. And Peter Stroud was a big one. I don't really know how that happened, but I'm just sure glad it did. It was he's just been a really good friend, and just really been just selfishly just he's done everything he can do to help me grow as a business and be a business and believe in this business. And Drew Shirley's another one. They've been really, just incredible supporters and believed in us and encouraged us along the way. Because this is something you need a lot of money to do, and I don't have money, so it's really difficult to even. It's a very expensive business to be in.
Yeah.
And if you don't do a huge volume of guitars, it's almost impossible to make it. And we don't do a huge volume of guitars, so it's a weekly struggle. But it's what we do. That's why I make no apologies for the cost of our guitars.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you get what you pay for. You're looking at quality, and
it's not just that. There's no. It's all we can do to make it week to week, because we was building 1,000 guitars a year or something like that. Yeah, it'd be different, but they wouldn't be the quality that these are. We couldn't put into them what we put into them, and we can't build that many guitars, so our cash flow is real small, and if something goes wrong in a build, like right now I'm working on about 69, 70 guitars. If I have to stop one day and work on that guitar that messed up, I just got 69 days behind.
Yeah.
And then everybody wants their guitar, and they want me to build them a guitar, but they think there's the only guitar I've got to build.
Yeah.
And so, you got those pros and cons. And 99% of people understand that and are, real good about it. But I wished I could build them quicker, because if I could, I'd make more money. But I've done everything that we can do to automate and do as many things that we possibly can to improve the speed of the build. But at the end of the day, we need more people and bigger shop, and then it ain't the same thing.
Exactly, yeah. That's what got Gibson in trouble. So what I'm hearing from a lot of that is that you love what you do and you care about what you do, which says everything, Well, I had another Elevation. I know Elevation. Almost everybody on their staff. You see the videos. They've got your guitars. Do they make them? I know that's kind of a joke.
No, they buy them just like everybody else.
Yeah,
They're just super great guys. We've had just huge support out of the Elevation crowd, and David and E and Kevin and Joey, and even when Lance and Mac was there.
Oh yeah.
I just can't speak enough good about them all, and they've really helped us with our product.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They love the guitars, and we don't have a lot of money, so we can't pay people to like our guitars, you mentioned Gibson. I'll say one thing in Gibson's defense. What people don't understand, everybody throws off on our quality and stuff like that. Their quality is great. yeah, there's things wrong.
Oh, yeah.
They build 1,000 guitars a day. You go run a guitar shop and build 1,000 guitars a day and see if you can make 1% of them perfect. You can't.
Yeah.
And they do pretty dang good to put out what they put out at the number they put it at.
Absolutely.
And it's one thing, you know, that you can get cocky in this business when you figure out how to build a great guitar. But you build 20 guitars a year, you think, oh yeah, everybody ought to build a guitar like mine. Then all of a sudden you've got 100 guitars to build in a year. It's a whole lot harder to build 100 incredible
Absolutely.
guitars than it is 20 incredible guitars. And people don't understand that. And so in Gibson's defense, at the volume of guitars that they build, and like Martin and them guys, they do incredible jobs.
Oh,
when you put it in perspective, you know. And I think, you know, I hope Gibson does great, because, you know, Gibson does great, Martin's doing great, Fender's doing great, everybody does great.
Absolutely. Yep. And we do this a lot on the WorshipCast. We'll rag on people just to give them junk. But I've got a Les Paul I play at church, which isn't always praise and worship appropriate. But before we, and that's a silly term too, right? You know, what's appropriate for...
Les Paul's my favorite guitar in the world.
Oh, man. If you get a good one, ain't nothing like it.
No. It's rock and roll.
Absolutely. Well, I had another question. So all these, I mean, you got a lot of artists in general playing your stuff, but a lot of the Christian artists are playing yours. Why, in the modern praise and worship kind of sound, do your guitars fit in that slot so well, do you think?
Best way for me to say that is when I first got into this, the concept of electric guitar building just really is disappointing to me. And when I was looking for a school to go to, I didn't go to electric building school, because every school I looked at was their basic theme. Oh yeah, we'll build this, you know, it doesn't really matter what you use here, what you do here, just if you want it to sound like this, you put these pickups in it. Bridges or rails, just put a hardtail or a tremolo on it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, really? That's all they're no more matter-of-factly made than that? And, you know, you get into like acoustic building and archtop building, they're so fanatical about, you know, like an archtop, before they even start, they have something in mind. And then when they get that top and they hear that top tapping on it, they know what that top sounds like, and they know where they can manipulate it and what they can do to it. So that guitar is built around that tone, you know, and, you know, the grains of the wood and this, that, and the other, different species, grain patterns really matter. Some species it don't, but some species of wood it really matters. And, you know, so I went to archtop and acoustic building school because I wanted to learn about wood.
Yeah.
And I think, back to the question, what makes our guitars work is every one of them didn't just happenstance happen. They were they were a goal set and achieved. In other words, it was planned for this guitar to sound like, look like, and be this. And in the process of doing that, you've got multiple stages that we could have quit, and it would have still been a cool guitar, but it wouldn't have been what we had in mind.
Yeah.
And it would have been less than what we had in mind. So we just don't quit and don't release something until it's where we want it. And you know, and what's really bizarre, when a guitar, to me, a great guitar or a great amp has to have a couple characters, and without it, it's just not a great guitar and it's not a great amp. I don't care how much you paid for it, I don't care what name's on it. it has to have clarity.
Mm-hmm.
It has to have, when you play a chord with overdrive, you need to hear every note of that chord. And you can go into a guitar shop that has 10,000 guitars in it, I ain't gonna name no names, and pick guitars up all day long and not find that. Every brand.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason that is because there's no emphasis putting on making that guitar have energy. You know, in an arch top, it's all about getting as much energy across that top in a certain way that you can. And you know, like a set of pickups, it's a magnetic field.
Mm-hmm.
It only picks up what moves. So if you've got a dead guitar that someone just slammed together, didn't put any, you know, thought into how they want this guitar to be, if they want to, you know, it's them pickups, yeah, they pick up and they sound different than some other pickups, but still, yeah, they can only pick up what's going across them.
Yeah.
And if you're not throwing energy across them the pickup field, it's less than spectacular.
And that's how you get back to just, you know, block of wood, throw the pickups in, it don't matter, right?
That's where a lot of people says I'm certifiable crazy. It doesn't matter. And it's fine, you know. They can say that. Our thing is we want people when they pick up our guitars to go, oh my gosh. You know, when they plug them in and say, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't tell you how many people that's had big collections of guitars and they get one of our guitars and they call me up and they say, well, you just ruined all my guitars. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I'm just going to sell them. I'll never play them again. I never realized how bad they were. You know,
mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. But, and the thing is, you know, we just do everything. And there's people build better guitars than we do. You know, I just do the very best that I can do. And, with what I've got to do it with. Mm-hmm. And you know, our guitars aren't perfect. By no means are they perfect. And we're continuously trying to improve. And I know it's a big investment, and you know, when someone buys one of our guitars, I want it to work. I want it to inspire them to play. Mm-hmm. I want it to be part of their family, part of their life. I want it to be in tune. I want it to intonate. I don't want them to have to go spend $200 or $300 on it to get it to intonate and be in tune. You know, like a lot of guitars you go buy, you have to do. Because it is a big investment. And I want people to, you know, your first impression of something is huge. The more you like something, it's like your wife. First time you met her, at first impression is huge.
She did all right.
But, you know, your guitar, it needs to catch you. It needs to reach out and grab you, and that's what we try to do. We matter-of-factly build every one of these guitars. And they're every single one completely different from one another. And the more you get into them, the more you'll realize that. But what's bizarre is you can pretty much take any one of them and go do anything you need to do.
Yeah.
Some of them will do some things better than other ones, and some of the other ones will do some things better than the other ones, but they all can pretty much do anything really, really well. And the neck pickup's functional, the bridge pickups are functional. You can play any one of the pickups. You can play a combination of the pickups in every song. You don't have to just, like, a lot of times when you're on stage, guitars, you know, the neck pickups are so muddy, you basically, if you play your neck pickup, you got to set your amp to your neck pickup. Then if you go to your bridge pickup, it's so thin you can't stand it, so you wind up either playing the bridge pickup the whole time, setting your amp that way. We try to make it to where, without touching an amp, you can use every pickup you got, get multiple sounds out of a guitar, you know.
That's important. the versatility,
especially in worship music. There's seldom do I play a song that I don't use multiple settings on my guitar. And it used to be I only played my bridge pickup.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't worth fighting a guitar or an amp to try to. It just worked better. I could hear and just stay on the bridge pickup. And I'm like, there got to be. So we spent hours on hours in developing pickups to work, the way they do. And what I got to discovering and pickup making, not everybody, but most pickups you buy, your bridge, your neck's the same exact pickup, just one has a little less turns on it than the other. Well, that doesn't even make sense. They're not even in the same position of the guitar. One's close to the bridge where there's very little vibration, and one's up here at the neck where you got this huge wide vibration. And that waveform is what your pickups pick up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, why don't you make a neck pickup to have clarity and to be great as a neck pickup? Why do you have to wind it just like the bridge pickup, but just put less turns on it? So we started in every one of the guitars, we would develop the bridge pickup the way we wanted it to be. Then we would develop the neck pickup the way we wanted it to be. And so it changes. I mean, there's completely different winding patterns and approaches to the neck pickups and the bridge pickup in our pickups.
Yeah.
It's just a completely different approach. And the results are amazing. And like I said, it's everything about these guitars is matter-of-factly done. And they probably are. I don't know of a lot of companies that build electric guitars like that. Like I said, I know a lot of archtop builders that do, and acoustic builders that are fanatical about it. And I know that's two totally different types of builds. There's two totally different concepts. But the passion and the approach, if you've got a bad perception of an instrument, like it's less important, the wood construction of it, then it's not going to be a dynamic guitar. It's just not. One out of every 10,000 might be great. That's why once in a while you find a great one, and for every great one you find 100 not so great ones.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. I've really appreciated this. Hope you guys have learned a couple things about what it takes to care about an instrument. And again, man, I appreciate you taking time and hanging out with me. And we'll get this video up, and hopefully everybody will like it. And it's been great. Anything else you want to add?
Just play it loud and proud.
There you go. When your parents tell you to turn it down, don't. We'll see you guys next time on the WorshipCast. Thank you. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll say one more time, Andy's a very down-to-earth guy. Even the part where I threw Gibson under the bus, which, listen, I'll throw shade at everybody. I love you, Gibson. I really do. I have a Les Paul that I wouldn't trade for anything except maybe one of Andy's guitars. And even then, just super classy guy. He come in and he will not say anything bad about other guitar makers, and even jokingly. So he is an honest guy. Just really truthful. He was a really, really cool person to sit with for a while. So I want to say a special thank you to Andy Elliott and Elliott Guitars for allowing us to come and interview. Hopefully I'll see you again next time with a check in my hand.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you to everybody that watched this episode of the WorshipCast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to have you. We'd love to chat with you. And we'll catch you guys next time.